Like, you're $1 billion company. Communicate better. Or is English too difficult? Where did the number 5545 come from? I'm not seeing it. Dear Diamonds and fellow Diamonds in the Rough, there's a lot of changes happening to Genshin Impact. There's so much qualities of life that were thrown at us that we finally thought that Genshin Impact is taking strides to finally go in the right direction. But unfortunately, it seems like every day we are made aware that those changes had a catch, which ultimately makes them a scam. The capturing radiance, you know, the thing when you pull and then it shines purple or, I don't know, pink. There's hearts being thrown from that. Apparently, it increases your chances from a 50-50 to a 55-45. It's small, but sure, why not? We thought it was, but we're about to find out that it's not working like that at all. So, capturing radiance is a big lie in Genshin. It is not 55 and 45. How it actually works as a free-to-play scam. So for my dear free-to-plays, the pure free-to-plays, the only mother flippers that should be praised in the Genshin community, because you don't spend money in the Genshin community. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it.
The 55-45 is currently a big lie in Genshin Impact, and this is something that does not sit with reality. So here on Paimon.mo, we can see that 51.63
Wait, Paimon.mo? What does that even do?
People that summoned from Mulani won the 50-50. Now, if the capturing radiance was giving you a 55-45 like everyone would believe, then why is this number so low? Why are more people winning on Emily and on Navia's banners than on Mulani's?
That is indeed a good question. I didn't even think to actually check that. This man is built different. Hoyoverse thought they could slip one by us because they had ignorant brothers like myself that are just playing like an idiot. But we have this man, Kokomi Clan. He's onto that. He's like, let me look at the percentages of people winning in the Mualani summons. Ooh, these numbers are not looking good, especially since you just told us that it's a 55-45. We should see an increase in numbers, like obviously. But it doesn't seem to be the case. That's a good question.
That's what we'll talk about today.
Okay.
Now, today's topic is quite difficult. I can just TLDR it and tell you exactly how things work, but I want you to just take a bit of a step back to understand where the confusion comes in. So let's take this step by step, and then I'll go through a bit later in the video on the technical details of how the capturing radiance actually works. So first of all, a lot of people seem to think that if you lose the 50-50, then there is somehow this magical second chance. And
oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Absolutely not. Ain't no way. When you lose, you lose. That's it.
Get a 10%. And if
you just have a chance to trigger a chance to hopefully get what you want, from what I understood. But then again, if there's one thing I learned recently with the artifact changes, you always got to read the fine print. So let's see.
If you win it again, then hey, you get your 5-star. And this is where the misconception comes in, because if you take the 10% year off on the 50 and you multiply it, well, hey, that's 5%. So you can then add it to the 55% one. And obviously the 90 here of the 50 is 45%, hence the 55-45. And even if you look in game, Hoyo says the consolidated probability is 55-45, but that is not how it works. So how the wishing system truly works is going to be outlined right here. But a couple of people have also made the observations. Even here on YouTube, you can see that Crying Wowo said, hey, something is not right.
He's called Crying Hweh. His name is Crying Hweh. Wait, excuse me? Why would you pick that name? Why did you say that name?
So how does it actually work? Well, basically, the first time you lose the 50-50, a notice is made of it on your account, and the next time you're confronted with a situation of either the limited banner or the 50-50, that probability is going to be 50-50.
Okay.
But if you lose the 50-50 again, what Hoyo does is they'll take notice of it, and then they'll adjust it to be a 75-25. So this is very, very important. You first have to lose the 50-50, then nothing changes. Once you lose it again, then the next time you're confronted with either the banner character or the alternatives, then that is going to be a 75-25. And then finally, if you lose the 75-25 after already having lost the first two 50-50s, then the capturing radiance is going to become 100%. So basically, if you would have lost, well, it's now just 100-0. That is actually what happens. And if you start doing the mathematics behind this,
oh, so it's technically a second pity system in a way. So if I lose, like right now, I lost a 50-50. Now I have a chance in my next 50-50, not my guaranteed, in my next 50-50, in my next coin toss, to have the ability to get to win the goddamn thing.
and I'll take you through how the simulations work, you get to the correct result of 55% on average when it comes to being given the choice. The new 50-50 is indeed the 55-45, but that's not what happens when you are confronted by it. In other words,
my next 50-50 should be a 75-25. I'm not gonna lie, this is genius. This is genius from Hoyoverse if they are to implement this system. Because what you hear a lot, and I'm pretty sure you guys must have had friends or someone that had a similar experience, when people lose 50-50 a lot, their gacha experience goes down significantly. They really start to hate the gacha system. The gacha system, if it's kind to you, you'll be like, you know what? Hey, let's go. I win. Winners win, baby. You know, classic. But when you lose a lot, especially a lot, when you lose a lot consecutively, that's just frustrating. That's just downright, oh my God. So I feel like this is genius, as in they can give you the high of winning the 50-50 slash, you know, keep your player retention and player satisfaction. Like, people love to feel special. And when people win 50-50s, especially earlies, people feel special. And we understand how lucky it is and it's special. So if the game can give you the feeling that you're special, there's more of a chance that players will continue to play, if that were to make any sense. It's the third time, not second from what I heard. God damn, what the fuck? But bro said it's 3. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to it again real quick. So your first try, they'll just take note. They're like, oh shit, bro just might be unlucky. You lose again, they're like, oh, give him a 75-25 on the third time. If you lose that one, as in the third time, then you switch to 100%. Okay, good for that. Good for that. It is for whales. It's like I said the first time. This thing a lot of whales will be happy for. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad to have around for people that just lose a whole bunch of coin tosses and it gets very, very frustrating. Just like for people that are confused like Silent Eggy, let me explain. If you lose your 50-50, you are guaranteed again when you reach pity or you hit a 5-star. That's out of the way. And then there's a new 50-50. In that new 50-50, they include the new chances, if that makes any sense. It's when you're confronted with the 50-50 chance that this system activates. If you are guaranteed a 5-star, this system will not activate, if that makes any sense, because you're already guaranteed. They basically are helping you win a 50-50. Which also means, chat, that if this shit activates, you are one unlucky fuck. You are unlucky as fuck. You had the pity of pity. Better than nothing. Indeed, man. Better than nothing. By the way, if you lose, meaning, especially the 4th time, that's, bro, they had to guarantee you the win of the 50-50, dude. That's how unlucky you are. You were gonna lose 4 coin tosses. That's nuts. Like, mathematically speaking, in the laws of probability, that is tough to achieve. God damn. Like, if you see that, just go, I might have to quit gacha. This is not for me. I'm not built like that. I'm gonna need to leave this sit for lucky motherfuckers like MTash, like those lucky damn individuals. Tectone did it. Well, Tectone lost 75-25 in the weapon banner. You guys remember that shit? Staff of Homa? I've won 2 50-50s in 5 years, bro. Mugiwara, you should have quit gacha a long time ago, dude. You should have quit a long time ago. I wouldn't have stayed there if I was you, dude. I'd be like, hey, what? Hey, all right, that's it. Y'all, you guys win. I'm out. Yeah, you guys have this. It's just on who are treating me right. Hey, let's go. Hey, Mugiwara, go where you're treated right. Do that in everything.
Doing the mathematics behind this, and I'll take you through how the simulations work, you get to the correct result of...
We're getting simulations out there with Python codes and everything. This man is thorough as fuck, and I'm loving it.
55% on average when it comes to being given the choice. The new 50-50 is indeed the 55-45, but that's not what happens when you are confronted by it. In other words, when you win a 5-star, it changes depending on whether you've lost previous 50-50s.
Exactly,
and
okay.
That is the key to what is happening. So here you can see we're in Python, and you don't need to understand Python to know where we're going to go, but I just want to prove to you guys that, hey, this has been mathed out properly, and I want to talk through it because there are a couple of little small things that you might not have noticed.
Holy nerds. Holy nerds, chat. And I love it. I love it. We need men like this, man. We need men, nerds, that are going to go the extra mile, chat, and will give us the information. Yep. Yay for nerds, chat. Yay for nerds. You know what, chat? Nerds Giga Chad. We need Nerds Giga Chad in the chat, man. We really do. Bro is doing Python to tell us what's up. Oh, you got yourself a subscriber, bro. You're built different.
Hopefully you can trust what I'm about to say.
Oh, we trust you, dude. This Python code in front of me. Of course I'm going to trust you.
So from my perspective, let's quickly go through this in detail. So basically, if you look here in Python, and I try to code this in a way which anyone can understand, what typically happens is you make a couple of wishes. If you get your 5-star, one of two things happens. If you win the 50-50, well, hey, congratulations. If you fail the 50-50 and you're not on a guarantee, well, then the next time it's going to be guaranteed, and you know, guys know that's kind of how Genshin Impact works. So with the capturing radiance,
classic
this
gotcha.
very simple logic of did I get the 5-star, did I win the 50-50, is suddenly a bit more complicated. So what we have to do in this case is we have to start counting every time you basically won the 50-50. So you can see here, there's no 50-50. Every time you lost the 50-50, every time you lost the 75-25, and then finally every time you lost the 100-0, which is never, because you've always win it. So we have to
I was scared for a second there. He was like, when you lose the 100-0, I'm like, how? Wait, what? Is this a Python thing where you can actually lose 100%? What is blood talking about? I was scared. This is Python math, chat, where you can lose 100%. Even if you have 100%, you can lose. That was me. That 0.001 error. Yeah, that was me, man. That was me.
What is happening over, in this case, I think it's about 10 million simulations. And as you can see here, as I've put in a comment, obviously, if you add up all of these counters, they must add up to the number of simulations. In this case, the number of wishes, which is about 10 million. And I can promise you the maths works out. And as you can see here, if you look at my little debugger there at the bottom, the sum is indeed 10 million.
So what he did is a bunch of players rolled 10 million times. Let's see how it went.
Effectively, with capturing radiance, is exactly like I said earlier. We first wish, and once the event triggers and we get our 5-star, something's going to happen. So first of all, we need to test whether we're going to win the 50-50 or not. So this is where we go down to this normal 50-50. If we win the 50-50, well, congratulations. We can then skip all of these little blocks you can see right here. We go all the way to the end. We've got our 5-star. There is no guarantee. Everything is as we've always.
It means you don't have a skill issue, is what he's saying.
Expected. But now what happens when we don't win the 50-50? Well, this is where we get into condition 1, and assuming we obviously don't have a guarantee, what we then do is we put on the guarantee because we just lost the 50-50. So next time, obviously the guarantee is going to trigger, and we just basically record the fact that, hey, we've lost the first 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
To our tally
yeah,
counter.
we're with you.
What then happens is the next time we go through this little wishing system, we obviously get another 5-star, and then the logic goes and says, okay, you failed the first time. And
we get a 55-45.
What we're now going to do is again go through a 50-50. If you once again win, hey, no problem.
Wait, why is... Okay, so where did the number 55-45 come from? I'm not seeing it. Chat, when the hell is 55-45 is activated? I don't see it. It's not a thing? Does it not exist? Is it how it feels to spread misinformation type shit? Because that's what it's starting to feel like. So bro is over here pretty much clearing up misinformation. So it's a scam, but not really? Where did we get that information? Because I forgot. Hoyo gave us misinformation. It was Hoyo. Hoyo misinterpreted it. So was it like a mistranslation or something? Hoyo posted a Hoyo Lab post that said a consolidated chance of getting a 5-star is 55-45. Never was stated in the post, though people just assumed it. And with the new system consolidated is 55-45. Okay, so bro, when Hoyoverse themselves is going to put in 55-45. How are we supposed to interpret it any other way? Like, you can't blame us for interpreting it in that way. You can't. No, 55, number 45 was never in the post. Exactly. So there was the number 55%, which of course means a 45% of a no. I guess they just didn't need to add it. So Hoyo fumbled the bag and gave us how it feels to spread misinformation emote thrown at us. And we're over here needing this man Kokomi to come here and save us and let us know what's up. Holy shit. Holy fumble.
All that's going to happen is we're going to clear all the records and it's just going to carry on as normal. But if you lose again the 50-50, then obviously condition 2 activates. We need to up 1 on the counter. And
75-25
is exactly like condition 1. You've lost the second 50-50 in a row, which I must kind of point out here.
Yeah.
That's the key part to all of this. We put on the guarantee, we record it, and so the process is going to go on. Obviously, if we'd won the 50-50 here, then we would reset everything, because then it's not, you didn't lose it one after the other. That's kind of a key point. In any case, so once you've lost the second 50-50 in a row, what happens is we go back here, we fail the second 50-50, we're not on a guarantee, so now the game gives us a 75-25. Obviously, if we win this, hey, we can just then reset
everything. And if you lose this one...
But if we lose the 75-25...
Bro, if you lose 3 50-50s in a row, you didn't lose 3 50-50s in a row. You lost 2 50-50s and a 75-25. That's the new system. Bro, if you lose the third time, that's it, man. That's a wrap. That's a wrap, man. It is official. You are diagnosed with what is known as skill issue. You are diagnosed. That's it.
We have to add one.
Go find your nearest streamer so that they can pull for your account, please.
Once again, we go into this little condition. We've lost the third 70.
Okay, so what about the 10 million? We get it.
To keep count. For those of you that are interested, we are jitting the process because I mean I want to run my simulations in less than 2 seconds. And once we do so, we can count all the 50-50, 75s, 100s, no 50-50s, and you then effectively, if you want to work out a consolidated probability, you just add them all up. You divide by the total, which in this case is 10 million, and that gives you then obviously the probability of going into this whole 50-50 nonsense, and then 1 minus that's the probability that you don't go into it. So effectively, overall, it's going to be a 55-45. The key takeaway is that over many wishes, if you're a whale player...
Wait, what? Is this some nerd shit that I can't understand?
Them all up, you divide by the 50, 75s, 100s, no 50-50s, and you then effectively, if you want to work out a consolidated probability, you just add them all up, you divide by the total, which in this case is 10 million, and that gives you then obviously the probability of going into this whole 50-50 nonsense, and then 1 minus that's the probability that you don't go into it. So effectively, overall, it's going to be a 55-45.
Oh, okay. So Hoyoverse gave us nerd information. So that's why Hoyo said what they said. So it's as in the probabilities in the long run makes it a 55-45. This is worse than 45-55, though it's more inconsistent. Well, it seems to be consistent, like as in consistently, it's going to be a 55-45. Long run, but how long? Well, that's kind of the problem with probability. That's why we become gambling addicts, because you always have that chance, but you got to keep trying to proc it, so to speak. Yeah, they didn't lie. They portrayed it as something different. Exactly. So it's not a scam. It's just not exactly what you thought it was, so to speak. And plus, because it's not a 55-45, it explains why the banner wins in this patch were low. So which means because of this new system, the fourth banner is actually going to be the one that has this. Because a lot of free-to-play players, like, they pull in banners separately, you know? They pull like spread. Not everybody can pull multiple copies of the same character. So I think the best consolidated number where we can truly judge the data of it is going to be the fourth one, where a lot of players, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Archon. I think the Archon is going to be a huge judge of this new system, because a lot of players are going to pull there. So technically, we should see a higher success of obtaining that one character. Judging from this, I hope I'm making sense.
The key takeaway is that over many wishes, if you're a whale player or if you're an F2P that has stayed up for months, yes, then the capturing radiance is going to take effect.
It's good.
But if you've just started out as an F2P and you only wished
it
once
doesn't
on the
matter.
Money banner, it's going to be the exact same as usual. Nothing is going to change in your life. It's just that statistically, the rates, the 50-50 acts statistically over many wishes, like a 55-45, but it's not always a 55-45. It depends on whether you've lost the previous 50-50s, and it only applies from Genshin Impact version 5.0 onwards. So that is something you have to be careful of.
So back in my day, you kids these days with your 55, 35, and 75, 25. This definitely clears up a lot of misinformation. I blame Hoyoverse's miscommunication and poor communication of the information. Like, you're a billion-dollar company. Communicate better. Or is English too difficult? God damn.
So it's not the 55-45, it's the 50-50, and it depends on
so the whale got buff Hoyo is encouraging us to whale in Genshin.
Yes and no. I will take this a step further. Like I said before, this is for you to feel special. Don't forget that these gacha games ultimately are predatory and they want you to be addicted to the shit. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. When I started the game, Genshin Impact, and I had Diluc and my friends did not have him, I felt special. I felt special because I had an early Diluc. I didn't even know what the fuck an early was back in the day because Genshin was my first gacha. So I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. I should take care of this. This is precious. You know, this is valuable. It's like my ZZZ account that was given to me. It feels special because it was a gift, but also like my pulls were good, etc. So I'm like, I should take care of this. I shouldn't just drop it and leave it. I want to take care of this. But I'm having a hard time because the TV system fucking sucks. But what I'm trying to say is this. If your account is lucky, if you feel like you're privileged in your account, more likely, not necessarily for sure, but more likely, there's a good chance you will value that account in that game more because it shows your luck was good to you in that game, if that makes any sense. It's like the ugly bitch and the hot bitch. You would love the hot bitch, but she's playing hard to get. The ugly bitch will suck your dick easy. You'd love the hot bitch, but because she's tough and annoying, you'll settle for the ugly bitch because she sucks dick easy, if that makes any sense.
Saying it's 55% then expecting us not to think it's a 55-45 is kinda dumb and misleading.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what, now if you have lost twice, you know next time you have a higher chance to win. And especially if you lose that one, it's time to quit.
What previously happened, in which case it can become a 75-25 or basically 100-0, which is, again, a full guarantee. Guys, that's been it from my side. The code and stuff will be down below. That's what I've got to say about
we
this.
appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, man. Finally, someone with a Genshin character picture and a Genshin character name that actually preaches facts. Imagine that. Finally, some action. Damn. So all in all, it turns out it's not technically a scam. It's Hoyoverse throwing a bunch of misinformation at us. And you can't blame us for thinking anything but what they told us at face value. I mean, you're telling me there's a 55% chance of me winning. I'm going to assume there's a 45% of me losing. That's just the way it is. But in long term, it applies only in the long term, which is what I said in my first time seeing that system. I was like, this is probably good for whales, as in it's going to impact a lot of pulling. You can go and check that out. You can go fact check me there. Again, I do feel like this is done for players that are going to lose a lot of 50-50s, which can get very irritating for players. So for the players to not quit, they're basically giving you a pity within a pity, if that makes any sense. Just, you know how you build pity and you do not get an early until you reach pity and they give you the 5-star character, you force it to come home. Well, this is a pity for your 50-50, as in you can build up the losses of 50-50s until eventually you win a damn 50-50, if that makes any sense. This is a predatory tactic, ladies and gentlemen. Do not misunderstand. It's good, but be careful of what it entails. Because the fact that they didn't tell you it works like this means it's underhanded. So which means they want you to feel special, but you're really not. You see what I'm trying to say? They want you to feel special. Because like I said earlier, you will value your account and the things you just obtained because you were lucky, quote unquote, but you really weren't. They want you to believe that. But Obviously, from this Kokomi clan, that is not the case. Like, comment, subscribe. All right, we'll see you on the next one. See you.